Scotty. You're not. Excuse me. I just woke up. Alright, I just woke up. Hold on. Try to put it back far enough, and then you just... I like that more. Okay. So I'm here to talk to you about one of the newest Netflix shows, Obliterated. Okay, so how did I come to seeing this? Well, to wanting to see this. Well, I follow Shelly Henning on Instagram, follow Nick Zano on Instagram, and C. Thomas Howell, as it would, they're all in this. So I kept seeing on their Instagrams, I'm a big fan of Nick Zano's and C. Thomas Howell's. And so I was already in, and then, Shelly Henning showed months ago on her Instagram, she's got it pinned on her Instagram that her and Nick Zano are going to be in this. I'm okay. I don't know what that is, but okay. And I kept seeing little trailers that didn't really show the plot. It just showed them as, like, secret agents doing something. So I went in not really knowing what the plot was. It's just, I figured it was going to be a secret agent show, right? Well, this is not your conventional secret agents doing stuff or, they work for the CIA. CIA agents doing stuff. This is far from that. First of all, it's rated TVMA. So, keep the kids away. I mean, seriously. This is just... You get female nudity. Butt cheeks, boobs, and all that stuff. And you get male nudity. You get butt cheeks and dingly-donglies. And, yeah. And there's drug use. And there's swearing. So, no, keep the kiddies away. This is not for kids. Don't watch it around them. You wouldn't want to do that. But the plot here that I didn't know about going in is that there is an elite CIA operative team that have gone to Vegas to stop a Russian from detonating a nuke. They seemingly do that and then decide to celebrate by getting fucked up. Nick Zano's character and two others, they pop up a Molly, and then C. Thomas Howell's character, Haggerty, apparently this likes to get fucked up all the time. He has this dip. He makes this guac with all this stuff in it, and eventually the Paul, who is their helicopter pilot, member of the team, ends up eating it all, which, and then our main character, Ava, played by Shelly Henning, she gets drunk on it's like champagne or wine or something. And then they find out that the bomb they stopped was fake. And now they have to go find the real bomb, and they're still fucked up. That is the gimmick that this show gives you. And I'll tell you this, it gets old pretty quick, but to their credit, they kind of go away from that halfway through the series, although for some reason this was not a quick going series. These are like 45 to 50 minute episodes, normal length for one of these kind of episodes. And when I thought I was getting closer to the end, I was only in episode 3. I'm like, really? I'm only on episode 3 here? I think they could have made this a movie, and it might have worked better. Don't get me wrong, I liked it, okay? I liked it. I just think, like, there's a lot of stuff that they could have, like, it seems like they got everything in hand, and then with 2 or 3 episodes left, they all of a sudden, there's a twist that happens that's just like, oh, now we can go for 3 more episodes, where it's like, it seems like it should be wrapping up, where everything is. You got this FBI team taking over with the FBI guy played by Michael Landis, who was uncredited. I couldn't find him anywhere, but I swear it's Michael Landis. And okay, they're gonna catch this thing. Something's gonna go wrong, and then it's like they're coming in, they're gonna take over, and they're not messed up, so it's gonna end. And then the twist happens, and it's like, oh, now this person's in charge, and it's gonna move forward with the FBI, and it's all, oh, we're gonna do it this way, and they make you think, okay, they're gonna go underneath the tunnels. No, that's a trap. They detonated. All the FBI agents die. That FBI agent, Michael Landis's character, dies, and like, also like in the last episode, when you think it's all over, they stop this person, right? Okay, so I need to reveal the twist here. So during their obstacles, we have remember the characters. We have Ava, right, played by Shelley Henning. We have McKnight, played by Nick Zano, and then there's Haggerty, played by C. Thomas Howell. He's the bomb guy. Who, by the way, I mean, at first, I was like, they're wasting C. Thomas Howell, because for half of the episodes, he's passed out. He's either passed out on a raft or passed out in the back of the car. At one point, they have a thing where he shits his pants. I'm like, what are they doing to Thomas Howell? What are they doing to C. Thomas Howell? They're wasting him here. And then, after he finally wakes up, they do some things with him where it's like, he's still around Vegas, but he's just missing them. Is there, that whole thing. At one point, Paul sees him, but they don't trust Paul because they think he's still fucked up from the guac. So they're like, no, Paul, you didn't see Haggerty. You didn't see him. And it's like, but if one of your other teammates said that they saw him walking around, you'd believe him. But because this guy has been fucked up and seeing this goblin, which, by the way, got old. Like, it got old. Like, why did he have to see a goblin? The only time I thought that was funny was at the end when it revealed that C. Thomas Howell could also see him. He's like, man, you get as fucked up as I do. You see more fucked up things than that. And I'm just like, okay, but he only did the guac stuff once. And he is pretty much sober now. Why is he still seeing the goblin? It just doesn't, And like I said, the whole gimmick with them being, I forgot to finish the cast. It's Haggerty, right? Played by C. Thomas Howell. Then there's Trunk. I don't remember the actor's name. There's this lesbian chick. What is it? Montez, I think is her name. And then there's the tech chick, Marla. I think. And I'll just call her tech chick, because that's what McKnight calls her at first. But Lerner is her last name. So they're the team. And they're acting together, and they're all fucked up and everything. And, okay, so, like I said, that gimmick of them being drunk and fucked up and trying to do this, it gets old. Especially when, there are times when you think it should be done, but then the Molly kicks back in. Like, there's a point where Montez, she's a sniper, and she goes through something, and then all of a sudden, conveniently, the Molly kicks in, and she's, like, shooting something else. Missing. There's a whole scene where Paul goes into the casino to try to save his daughter, and it's revealed that none of that happened. He's still in the desert, and he shot a cactus. Although there was 2 dog people, he did steal an ATV because they need a way to get back into Vegas. But and it happens to the other guys too. Where it's like, oh, eventually, once it needs to get serious and it gets down to the last 3 episodes, that stuff kind of goes away, except for Paul, but he does get his redemption. And speaking of Paul, so they set this whole thing where he wants to save his daughter, and they can't find Haggerty. So their decision is for Paul to fly the nuke out into the desert before it detonates, sacrificing himself. And he says, as long as I save my daughter and save everybody else, one life for all lives, And they do this up to the break where they make you think it's going to happen. However, at a certain point, I caught on to the fact that it wasn't going to happen, but they tried to pull at your heartstrings with this, where okay, so like I said, there's a twist. Okay, so there's this Russian guy, and he's captured early on, and there's other Russians and there's like Americans involved with this. And at one point, they find this call girl, Lana, tied up, and she sort of joins their crew and helps them out. And then, with 3 episodes left, it's revealed she's the Russian guy's sister and also in on this. And by the way, she's not Russian, but she's his sister. I don't know, maybe it's because she was raised in America. I don't know. The twist would have, I don't know why she's still speaking American next. I don't know, but her character changes. I liked her character when she was Lana, and then when she's Anastasia, it's like, okay, no, this is bitch. This bitch needs to go. Sorry. I just woke up, so I'm trying to get some caffeine. Okay. We got... Eventually, they wrangle this bomb, right? But we got like 20 minutes of the episode left, so the bomb's not in the case where they think it is. She hid it somewhere, and they find out that she hid it in one of the slot machines. I read the slot machines. No. Beefs the head to America. Whoa. You know what? So they find it, and that's when Paul, you can do this. Then Haggerty comes in on a camel, which the camel itself is a character. Like the camel is a character that's at their party when they get fucked up, and then there's another scene later where it shows up, and then you have Haggerty in this limo, and he's like, at one point his character gets married to some chick. I don't know. They have to keep him around Vegas, and just as he's leaving, he stops like, hold on, I see a friend of mine, and it's the camel. And then all of a sudden he comes riding in on this camel to save the day. With like, I don't know, a minute and a half left to do this, and so he's able to do that. No one dies. But my big problem is they set up this whole thing where they say the Paul's gonna sacrifice himself. He has this scene where he like apologizes to his daughter and has this deep scene with his daughter, with this deep meaning scene with his daughter and her boyfriend. It's just like, take care of her and all that, and it's kind of a kind of moment, and then they just pull the rug out from underneath you. No, Haggerty's here. He's gonna save the day. Also, there's some running gags here. There's one running gag where Trunk is trying to get food, but something happens every time he doesn't get it. Like, I didn't realize it was gonna be a running gag where it's like, man, I'm hungry, I need something to eat, man. You ain't got anything to eat. We're in the middle of the desert. And then they get to a diner, and he's like, man, this is where I realized that they were doing something. He's like, he ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and then is waiting, and he's like talking. He's out with people. He's like, and the waitress comes up, Beatrice. She's like, hey, you guys need to... He's like, no, Beatrice, you need to go back and finish my order. She goes, I didn't even put it in yet. He's like, what the fuck? What do you mean you need to put it in yet? I'm like, oh, this is supposed to be a running gag. And eventually, that leads to him being malnourished. Keep in mind, he was all fucked up the night before. Hasn't had any food to replace, maybe water. So he gets malnourished, and he passes out a couple times. And then they also do he's going to sacrifice himself to these Russian thugs that he fights. He gets his ass kicked, and then chocolate syrup falls in his mouth. And he finds food, he eats a bunch of food, gets replenished like it's a fucking video game. Your health is back, and beats the shit out of these guys. They like to, that's not the only one. That's not the last one that they would do. Oh, he's gonna die and then he survives type thing. McKnight and Ava are in an elevator with some thugs, and basically it appears that McKnight sacrificed himself by falling on the elevator shaft. And I went, as a joke, I said, no, because Nick Zano, I don't want him to die. I'm like, no. Tell me he's not dead. He's not dead. He fell on some people or something. Sure enough, they show that he survived because he fell on a pile of thugs, and one of the other thugs is still alive. And I'm like, I was joking. You could have found some other way that he survived, like he hung on to something, falling down. Okay, this show is not completely serious. So, you know. Also, they do the thing that at first I was not okay with, where, okay, so there's like a love triangle thing at first, where Lerner, the tech chick, has a thing for McKnight. But of course, McKnight and Ava are the two leads, so they're gonna have something. And they have her backstory that I forgot about, because they do at the beginning where it's like, well, something happened to her husband or her fiance or something. And then it's not till towards the end of the season that she's like, oh, my husband died. He was FBI or something, and he died. And I'm trying to get over it. But you were just like having the sex with McKnight. And like, there's a whole sex scene that happens. And then, like, McKnight fucks it up by saying, well, I love you since the first day I met you. And then it's like, oh, no, it's gone. It's gone. And then, you know, if you're, don't just throw that out, guys. Unless you know she's gonna, you know, throw that back at you. This was not one of those times you should have done it. Same. Then Lerner comes in, varsity blues and shit with the whipped cream stuff and a cherry. I do like the cherry falls off, but it's like she's like all pissed, and I'm like, really, we're doing this? Do we have to do this? And then later, after they're decommissioned by their boss, Carl Lumley, by the way, they start going at it again. They don't get full nude, just like take down the pants stuff. And she comes walking in, and I'm like, really? And she's like, oh, Jesus Christ, again? And it's like, oh, okay, she's okay with this now. Not like, you know, but they do a thing like, oh, the camel, and they're like, oh, the camel's watching too? Everybody else walks in. Really? You doing it with the camel watching? Okay, the moment's over. It's like, she said she can't do it, or he can't do it with the camel watching, so they turn, and she's like, okay, you're right, this is too weird. And then everybody starts walking. Matt, really, with the camel watching? Oh, Jesus Christ. And then, at the end of the season, they end up doing it in the shower, finally finishing up. And yes, there's sex jokes throughout, you know. I'm like, come on, you. I mean, I'm gonna come for you. You know, those kind of jokes. The one thing, no, that wasn't resolved, I think at least it wasn't resolved. Throughout the season, there is this person who they do not show, but it's like a voice modulation. And I refuse to believe that was Lana controlling the stuff. I thought it was going to reveal it was their boss, because he's the one who tells Ava to celebrate and to drink the wine. So I'm like, oh, he did that so they'd be fucked up, wouldn't be able to stop them. And then he's the one who takes up off the assignment and throws the FBI in. And I'm like, oh, because he knows the FBI are one note operation. They're going to do things by a certain note and they're going to get away with it. But no, he's not a part of it. And we never find out who this voice modulated person is. And here's my point as to why it can't be Lana, is because there are points we see this voice modulated person when Lana couldn't be there to do the communication. Yes, it's shown that she manipulated Lerner early on, but she wouldn't be able to do the voice modulation there. I don't know. And like, her reveal didn't connect to that. Like, oh, it was me. You know, they didn't do like some TV shows do where they flash back and show that it was her doing the communications. So if there's a season 2, which I'm kind of hoping there is, but not a lot of new shows in 2023 got new seasons. Case in point, the Winchesters or Gotham Knights. A lot of those two, Winchesters would be the one I would want to see more. Gotham Knights would have been something. I don't know, but I would like another season of this, please. This was fun. There were some things got my nerves, but it was overall, it was a fun watch for me. You know, was there one more thing? Oh. I need to tell you about the most uncomfortable moment in this series. And for all men out there, you're gonna know, at least the men are gonna watch this scene and be like, oh God, no, fuck. Because at one point they have Trunk and Lana kidnapped. It's kind of weird how they have Lana held captive. She convinces them to escape by showing her tits, right? And it's like, wait, if she's in on it, why is she? Because it has to be a twist, whatever. We have to get titties in this, right? That's another thing. Before I get into that, I just remembered the thing. I don't want to forget it. Speaking of tits. So, at one point, Lerner gets shot. And there's another of, she's going to die, but she's actually fine. And she's in a hospital, and she's sedated. And she has a sex fantasy about her and McKnight. We see tits, of course. But Lana is also there. And it's in this fantasy that she figures out that Lana is in on it. That she's Anastasia, whatever. The team has already figured it out. But she wakes up, she's like, I gotta go tell them. And do the thing, she runs and goes, hey guys, I figured out Lana is blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, we know. I'm like, really? You could think of any other way for her to wake up and get back to the team than that? The audience already knew this. The team already knew this. Why did she... I don't know. And I was also conflicted with the Lana twist, because I really like Lana. And they was like, you're part of the team now. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe she'll be a big part of the team. No, she's the villain. It's like, oh. Okay. And the more I thought about it, okay, they left her behind for a reason. They didn't take her with, so there's a reason why she had to stay. Okay. Anyway, the scene that will live in infamy for guys out there who know that this is not something you'd want done. So they have him chained up, and they're going to interrogate him to get information on the team and everything to do. So this guy comes in with this device, with this long metal rod on it. Thin, long metal rod. And there's a button. He says you can push the button, it does a thing. And he says he's going to insert it. And he's like, insert it. Trunk. He's like, insert it. What do you mean insert it? And of course you can think, okay, they're going to insert it in his butt. They're going to, stick it up his ass. Although, the guy is gay, so he might like that. No. Of course they're not going to do that. You know where they stick it? Do you know where they stick it? They stick it in his pee-pee hole. And guys, fellas, you know you do not want anything up there. When you get soap or shampoo up there, it stings. A long metal rod, hell no. Hell no. And of course, they show it because they show, they take his pants down, his mandingo hanging out, and I went, okay, we going full frontal on this nudity. Okay. Keep in mind, we don't see full frontal on the women at all. It's just the men. Is that objectifying men? I don't know. I'm no scientist. But I do know I saw too many penises on this show. Far more than I thought it, except for on porn. But anyway, I don't watch porn. Okay, so anyway, it's just... Okay, so yeah, I've seen porn. Who hasn't? So it didn't bother me. But it's still uncomfortable. In porn, you don't see them sticking a rod up pee-pee hole. So I'm going... No! Because you don't want to see that shit. And then they keep teasing, they're going to press the button. Like, no. But you also want to know what that button does, right? So they do that, but not to that, because they come in and they have to have McKnight take it up. Hey, do I press the button? They're like, hell no, fuck no, and he pulls it out, right? And then the guy was gonna do it to him. He turns around, he sticks it in his eye, and then presses the button, so it like purees his brain or whatever the fuck, his eyeball, whatever. So yeah, you do get to see what it does, but not like that. But that is a scene that will live in infamy for me on this show. Oh, and for guys who watch this, just, you do not want, you get a little soap up there. It's bad. Stick a whole metal. No, it's like this long. Yeah. Well, to be fair, he's like, it's a black guy. So, but just, damn. And of course, it was prosthetic. I think. I'm pretty sure whatever they put in there is prosthetic. What they put in. But that scene is just. I'm saying, like I said, keep the kiddies away. And if you're a guy and you're gonna find that too much, then maybe you should stay away. It's just, And if you're a woman who knows your man, and this, it's like, oh no, I don't want my man to go through that. I want any man to go through that. Overall, I liked the show. I had some problems with it, but I liked it. That scene was not a negative in any way, shape, or form. It was just a moment for me. But I enjoyed it. I don't give scores for these things, but I did enjoy it. I thought the cast was great. I would love to see another season. Now, I said earlier, like finishing it up. After talking about the Mandingo scene, that's what I'm like. I would love to see another season. Doesn't it change? But yeah, it'd be fun to go again. Who knows? But yeah. Also, there's a flashback with Virginia Madsen. It's revealed she's McKnight's mother, and all that flashback serves is to connect when he goes full Rambo later with the head man and stuff. She never comes back into it, so I don't know. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Obliterated? Leave me comments below. Share, like, share, and subscribe. I swear this is just soda. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.